Hello everyone and welcome back to Danganronpa, where we are trying to solve several mysteries all at once. I think
we have the one figured out. I'm gonna be really upset if I'm not right.
That's exactly what it means. When we found her body in the garden, she'd already been dead for several days.
So then, what about the little matter of what happened last night?
Wait, was that still last?
Makoto,
that couldn't have been last night.
You were attacked in your room by a
Apparently
masked assailant.
No, it said that I thought it had been like time had passed because we were like dying of thirst and hunger.
Who knows?
If Mukuro had already been dead for several days, certainly it couldn't have been her. So who was it that attacked you?
The identity of the one who attacked me. I can't think of anyone else.
Mastermind.
I got it! The one who attacked me was the true mastermind. When we discovered Mukuro in the garden wearing the same mask, I naturally assumed she must have been the one who attacked me, but I was wrong. It wasn't her at all. It was the mastermind.
Just realized something. There we go. I was like, why is it so quiet?
What are you laughing at?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just getting a little impatient sitting here listening. I think I'm gonna jump in. Let's start off with a nice, easy question. Your assumption that I attacked Makoto is just that, right? An assumption. You can't really know who was under that mask, can you? I mean, that's the whole point of a mask. The true
Fair.
identity of the masked attacker is Mukuro Ikusaba. At least, that's what I think.
I wonder, it could potentially be true.
Yeah.
Do you have any evidence that might convince me otherwise?
No, there's no way Mukuro is the one that attacked me. Even if I didn't see their face.
The nails.
Mukuro had a very obvious, because there's no tattoo. Had a very obvious Fenrir tattoo. Comparing that to the masked attacker, it should be obvious. That's all I got.
You never
Well, you're gonna
saw
pick
their
up.
face, right? So you can't have any idea who was under that mask. I'm telling you now, it was Mukuro Ikusaba.
You're wrong. Even without seeing their face, there's another part of the attacker we can use to prove it wasn't her.
Oh? And what is this other part? Is it the right hand? Or the left hand? Maybe the right foot.
We're gonna have to remember
Or
which hand it
perhaps
is.
the left foot.
It was
Or
on
could
her right
it
hand.
be the hips?
Which hand was it on?
It was on the right.
Okay. So we gotta grab right hand and then use it on Mukuro.
Oh, I see. So we have to absorb right
You
hand.
never saw it, so you can't have. I'm telling you now.
You're wrong. There's another part of the...
Oh? Is it the right hand? Or the left hand? Maybe the... Or perhaps... Or could it be...
His voice sped up.
the
I know.
hip?
He sounds like a chipmunk.
You never saw their face, so you can't have any idea. I'm telling you now, it was
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
I like that I get to do that to him.
Mukuro had a tattoo on her right hand, if I remember correctly. A representation of Fenrir. In other words, a wolf tattoo. But I saw the right hand of the person who attacked me. And there was no such tattoo. So there's no way the person behind the mask was Mukuro.
I wonder what that means for it being Junko, though.
Yeah, well, okay. You got me. I guess it wasn't her. But that still doesn't prove that it was me. It could have been, you know, someone else, right?
Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I all have solid alibis for that entire night.
Yeah! We were in the gym tearing you apart, so it could have been any of us.
Oh, okay, sure. It couldn't have been any of you, but what about Kyoko? It totally could have been her. Uh-oh, no snappy comeback? Did I score a bullseye?
If you insist, I don't mind showing you.
Huh? Show me what?
What do you think? I'll show
Oh,
you
her
the one
hand.
thing that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it wasn't me.
Before anyone could say anything, Kyoko was removing her gloves.
Hands.
Without thinking, I let out a gasp. It was more than just a little burned skin.
Awful, isn't it? It happened when I was first learning to be a detective. I was inexperienced.
I thought you didn't want anyone to see those scars.
If it means we get another step closer to unmasking the mastermind, it doesn't really bother me.
Kyoko seemed to savor the words as she said them. Then she put her gloves back on.
My scars should suffice as proof.
That would have
Makoto,
stood out.
Did the person who attacked you have scars like mine?
No, not at all. I'm positive.
Then this much has been made clear. There can be no doubt that the one who attacked Makoto is the true mastermind.
This is just awful. On top of my secret being revealed, I had to look at those positively grotesque scars of yours. Sorry, did I say that out loud? I do hope I didn't hurt your feelings.
Not at all. You can say whatever you want.
Sure, as long as it means pushing me farther into the corner, right? But I'm not cornered just yet.
You're pretty cornered.
Because if you haven't noticed, the circumstances surrounding Mukuro's death are totally unknown.
That's true. All we know right now is she was killed a good while before this morning.
On the contrary, we don't know anything other than that.
You're not going to tell us she was already dead before we arrived here or something, are you?
In that regard, you
Nope.
have nothing to worry about. I promise you, without a doubt, she died after our little killing game began here.
Then somehow she was killed in secret without any of us knowing.
And after she died, who knows how much time went by before we found her, right? Did the culprit stash her somewhere? She couldn't have been in the garden the whole time, could
If she was, she
She'd been in the
would have
morgue.
been
Yeah.
totally decomposed. Just like your brain.
Then she was being stored somewhere?
But to hide a body here, to just store it somewhere?
There's only one place. I can't think anywhere else. Obviously, the pool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's where I store all my dead bodies.
Yeah, dead bodies, pool.
I got it! Mukuro's body was probably kept hidden in the biolab.
The biolab? You mean on the 5th floor?
That's right. It's actually set up for use as a morgue, so it's the perfect place to hide a body. And it'd keep the body preserved at the same time.
Then you're also saying the body was moved from the biolab to the garden.
And I have no doubt that that's exactly what happened. In
Oh, that's
fact,
hard.
I have proof.
The proof that shows the body was carried from the biolab to the garden. There's something that made its way from the biolab to the garden.
The tarp.
I got it!
It's a tarp.
What makes me so sure the body was carried from the biolab to the garden is the tarp that we found in the garden. When I was checking it over again, I noticed something. I noticed that some text had been stamped on one corner of the tarp.
Oh, it says biolab.
Holy cow! How'd you notice that tiny little thing?
We're smart.
Makoto's nit-picky nature seems to have surfaced with perfect timing.
This proves that the tarp originally came from the biolab. In fact, there's a whole stack of tarps just like it in there.
So when the killer moved the body to the garden, they must have grabbed a tarp to wrap it in. Then they simply left it as it was to protect against the sprinklers, and put the coat on it afterwards.
Wow, you made everything sound so amazingly consistent.
But that's just a wild guess. Where's your evidence? Prove that the body was wrapped in a tarp and moved.
There is no evidence. I was simply explaining what I think happened.
I mean, there really wouldn't be.
But you
Yeah.
seem to be getting pretty worked up about it, wouldn't you say?
Worked up?
Now that the conversation has turned to the topic of the biolab, you must be getting pretty nervous. Because the key to uncovering your secret identity is hidden within that room, isn't it?
Are you talking about unmasking the mastermind?
You see, the biolab contained an inconsistency. One so major it can't be overlooked.
An inconsistency in the biolab, it's the lights. Could you be talking about...
I can't hear you. La 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 la.
Such a child. Oh well, just ignore him.
I need to pull myself together and think. The inconsistency in the biolab, could you be talking about...
By the way, Makoto, what about that one thing?
What one thing?
What do you think? I'm talking about your family.
What?
Don't tell me you forgot about that video message.
Wait a second.
She's wearing the same outfit.
Yep.
So what do you think? Are you sure your family's still okay?
Why are you bringing that up now?
Your mom, your dad, your little sister. What do you think has happened to your family?
Maybe something did happen in the outside
Are they
world.
really as safe as you might have assumed?
Stop talking about that!
Calm down, Makoto. He wants you to get upset.
Yeah, I need to calm down. I can't let him get to me. He's just saying that because he knows we're getting close to the truth of the biolab. So if I want to shut him up, I need to expose the inconsistency and slam him with it. The inconsistency has to be that one area where the numbers just don't match up. What are we doing? Oh, moment of truth. Oh, this should be fun.
Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Are you sure about this? That's impossible! Rawr! What? What do you want? Are you sure about this? Proof! Proof! Proof!
Oops.
Are you sure about this? That's impossible!
Ah.
Are you sure about this? That's impossible!
You got him.
I'm not listening!
What? What is it? Oh, biolab lights. I didn't... No! You kidding me?
Are you sure about this? That's impossible!
I didn't know there was
I'm
ever
not
another
listening.
bullet.
No. I think it happened
should prove
once. But it didn't... I thought it would, like, show you that you had multiple things.
The inconsistency Kyoko's talking about is... the lights!
What are you talking about? What about the lights?
Like I said before, the biolab also acts as a morgue. And as part of that, a giant refrigerator was installed in there. That's where everyone who's died is stored.
And it was set up so that when a slot had a body in it, a blue light would turn on.
All right. One question we had about the morgue is... inside Mondo's locker, is it just butter?
Yeah.
Let us know what you think.
In other words, if the blue light is on, that means there's a body in that slot.
Or butter.
Or butter. It could be butter.
But I counted up the number of blue lights that were on, including the one Mukuro was in, and there were only 9.
Why does that matter?
Because there
Gotta
should be
give me
10.
the bite-sized version here, man.
9 lights doesn't make any sense. The number of lights that should be on is...
I got it! 10 of the lights should have been on. Any other number is incredibly suspicious.
Suspicious? Why?
because 10 people have
That's
died.
simple. Just recall who's died here so far, and it should become clear.
That's right, that's the key to solving this mystery. Sayaka died first.
And then Junko.
Junko was second. Leon was third. Chihiro was fourth. Mondo was fifth. Taka 6th, then Hifumi was 7th. Celeste was 8th. Sakura was 9th. And victim number 10 was Mukuro. In theory.
So 10 people in all?
That's right. Any other number should make you immediately suspicious. But according to the lights in the biolab, only 9 people were being stored there.
You're saying a dead body just up and disappeared?
Well, actually, he's not wrong.
The mastermind destroyed one of the bodies to get rid of evidence.
But if they wanted to do that, they would have destroyed Mukuro's body, since they actually killed her. And yet, her body was left alone.
Then, whose body disappeared?
It may very well be that none of them disappeared.
But if that's true, then why doesn't the body count match?
Including Monokuma's executions, there have apparently been 10 deaths, but there were only 9 bodies. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I'm completely lost. How can the number of victims be less than the number of murders?
The reason there are less bodies than murders, the explanation for more murders than victims, why is that? What would it take for that to make sense?
Same person was killed twice.
I got it! What about if the same person was killed twice?
Huh? Killed twice?
Officially, 10 murders have been committed so far, but one of the victims may have been murdered, and then murdered again.
Murdered and murdered again?
If that's the case, there could have been 10 killings, but still only 9 victims, right?
Technically, you're right, I guess. But still, something like that
Could easily have happened. No, it is what happened.
Sounds like you're already convinced. Then can you tell us who was killed twice?
Mukuro.
It was Mukuro, of course.
Yes!
Before she was killed as Mukuro Ikusaba, she was killed as someone else.
And that's why the body had to be stored in the biolab until the moment we found it in the garden.
So I knew it was Junko, but
No, that's crazy talk. She was killed as someone else? Come on! Besides, who could that someone else even have been?
All you have to do is look at those bodily injuries of hers, and that will become obvious.
Yep.
Nothing's gonna become obvious, because Kyoko's totally delusional!
Monokuma's losing it.
alright, we're gonna have to grab something.
Yeah.
Probably. We'll see.
Who is this someone else that Mukuro was killed as? Was it Sayaka Maizono? Junko Enoshima?
That's the one.
Leon Kuwata? Chihiro Fujisaki?
I'm glad I learned about shooting those.
Mondo Owada? Kiyotaka Ishimaru? Hifumi Yamada? Celestia Lu?
Whatever.
Or maybe Sakura Ogami? No. There's no way
Anyone was murdered twice!
No, that's wrong. Junko, wasn't her fatal injury pretty similar to Mukuro's?
What do you mean?
Well, remember what happened to her? She was impaled by a bunch of spears, all over her body.
And Mukuro died from a number of wounds across her body. When you compare that to the stab wounds Junko suffered,
Then the similarities match?
Yes, and those are the only fatal injuries that match up. That explains why those 2 bodies are actually one and the same.
so let me see if I have this straight.
I feel like we're going to see Junko die a
or
lot.
someone going by that name, was stabbed to death with multiple spears. Then her body was kept in the biolab for however long before being dragged out again. Only this time, it was presented as the corpse of one Mukuro Ikusaba.
It all matches up, right? Those wounds Junko suffered could easily be these same injuries.
Then it's really true? Mukuro and Junko are the same person? Wait, so then... what does it all mean?
It means that there haven't been 10 victims, but 9, which also means that among the people we thought were dead, 1 is still alive.
Aha!
And that's the true identity of the mastermind?
Who is it? Who's behind all this?
We already know the answer to that. It's Mukuro. She's still alive. She took Junko's body and made it look like she was the one who died.
Wait.
So Mukuro is still alive.
What about the tattoo, though?
Gotta be.
You
Or
never
if we put the tattoo on after.
You could have. Or you never saw her hands.
It's true.
Total silence? Then I must be right. I'm right, aren't I?
Mukuro alive? The one that's still alive is Mukuro, but can we really believe that? No, there's no way. There's no way Mukuro Ukusaba is alive.
What?
I think it's because of the tattoo.
The body we found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
Then she's still alive?
That's right. She made it look like Junko's body was her. So the mastermind's true identity is Mukuro.
What do you say, Monokuma? Do you give up?
I don't know what to grab. For that to be true, then that couldn't have been her body we found in the garden. Is that really possible? Oh boy, I'm kind of stumped on this one.
Found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
Alright, Monokuma file. Doesn't say anything about the tattoo. Alright, what's our other?
Then
Fatal
she's
injury
still
and
alive?
profile. What exactly is in the profile?
I think that talks about her. Single scar or wound.
No, it's saying she hadn't suffered a single scar.
Right.
wound.
The mastermind's true identity is Mukuro.
What do you
No.
say, Monokuma? Do you give up?
Oops.
I don't understand this one.
For that to be true, then that couldn't have been her body we found in the garden. Is that no? Because that was
The body we found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
Then she's still alive?
That's right. She made it look like Junko's body was
I wonder if you need to grab the and push it on
mastermind's true identity is
Mukura.
Mukuro.
What do you say, Monokuma? Do you give up?
that's random.
No.
For that to be true, then her body we found in the garden. That doesn't.
I this whole
body
I don't
Found in
understand.
the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
There we go.
That's wrong.
But I don't understand why.
Because in her profile, it talked about
No, the body we found in the garden was Mukuro. That's
the
one thing we
because
can
of
be
the
sure of.
dimensions, like her proportions.
The body's appearance and measurements are consistent with her records. Right, Kyoko?
She was 5 foot 6 inches tall and weighed 97 pounds. Her vitals were 31, 21, 32. Everything in her profile is consistent with that corpse.
And then there's the matter of the Fenrir tattoo. So there's no question it's her.
But if Mukuro's not
Then
the
it's-
mastermind,
but-
then who's actually still alive?
Junko. Someone made it look like they died, but they're actually still alive? There's only one person it could be.
Junko. Monokuma.
I got
Here's
it!
my answer. Junko is still alive. It's the only possibility.
Are you sure about that?
Huh?
I admit, since Mukuro is undoubtedly dead, Junko does seem to be the only other explanation. But we saw her get impaled. She died right before our very eyes. If Junko were still alive, the death we saw would had to have been some kind of charade. But you yourself confirmed she was dead, did you not?
Now that you mention it. I gently placed my hand on Junko's lifeless body. I touched her wrist to check for a pulse, like they do in movies and stuff, but she really is dead. There wasn't anything else to say. She was gone. I did check absolutely, and I can say for sure.
She was dead. There's no question. Junko was dead.
So, the idea that she's still alive.
It must be wrong.
Then you're withdrawing your previous statement?
Was that Mukuro?
I know you gave it your best shot, but too bad. I guess your conclusion was a dud. Too bad, too bad.
This case hasn't been decided just yet.
Oh?
You haven't given up already, have you, Makoto?
Huh?
No, of course not. There's no way I'd give up that easy.
That's all well and good, but how do you intend to solve the problem standing in your way? Junko absolutely died. Mukuro absolutely died.
One and the same? They're twins?
I'm wondering if they're twins.
Then both of them are dead, right? There can't be any kind of survivor story.
I think we need to look at this from the opposite direction.
Huh? The opposite direction?
Junko's profile.
Let's assume Junko is still alive. If so, how could she have survived?
How could Junko have survived? I checked her. She was dead. I'm sure of it. But still, if she were alive somehow, could it be that Junko's not the one that died? Aha!
It's Mukuro.
Yep. All right. We're going to find out more about that in the next episode. Yeah. Seems like a good cliffhanger-y spot. I mean, I guess probably a lot of people already know what happened, but still.
We don't know what happened.
We don't know what happened. So, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.